Oh, it's raining.
It's raining in Calayab.
Yeah.
Welcome to Calayab Ligaya. You can see that I am not in Calayab, and I'm not in the Philippines. Udit and I are actually in Narita Airport waiting for a flight to San Francisco. We are on our way back to the U.S. There's a family situation that requires that we get back to the U.S. and spend a couple of weeks there. So we will be working to catch up on a number of the videos that we have not yet put out because there's just been a lot going on recently. So, with that introduction, I'm going to show you some of the progress that we've been making on the house so we can show you what's been happening there. I hope you can hear this. This is a great opportunity to take a look at some of the very intricate work that the crew is doing, forming these beams and connecting them to the columns that are already in place. You can see that this beam right here is slanted, so they will be pouring around that slant so that there will be a beam right there, and you see how it's connected to the beam they've created across the front of the veranda. It is connected to this veranda column, and as we walk through here you can see how it is connected to the high point on the veranda roof, so that when the veranda roof is completed, the water will shed either direction off this roof. This beam continues through here. This is where you can get a pretty good sense. Hello! This is where you can get a really good sense of the grade and how the grade's going to need to come down. But here the guys are working in the sun. It is, I just checked on my phone, it's about 45. It says it feels like about 35. It says it feels like 40. So they're working outside in the sun all day doing this really intricate work of making sure that these stirrups are placed in the right places along this beam that then, as you can see, connects back and terminates with the house column right there where Howard is working. So they are putting all these beams together, and it looks like King is measuring for another beam, another tie beam that will connect between the column at the house and this beam right here. Really intricate work by very talented people that put me to shame because I really don't know how to do anything that they're doing. Jim. And they will repeat this same structure on the far side of the house. And you can see there's a couple of guys right now pulling a form across. That's Mando and Eddie, I think. They're pulling a form across to lay up against the side of one of these beams so that they can use that as a structure for holding the concrete when they do the concrete pour. It's afternoon here at Calayab Ligaya, and you can see what the A5 crew has really been working on is putting together the forms that wrap around the lower beams and will allow them then to pour concrete inside these forms. I'm going to see if I can get a better angle on it. If we look here, we can see the rebar for the beams has been all tied together and is structured, and then beneath that and surrounding that you can see that A5 is constructing these forms that the concrete will then be poured into. These forms are incomplete right now because they have not all been constructed. They've just kind of been finishing the beams so that the forms then can be constructed. The sun is in the way here, but you can see that there's a bottom plate underneath each of these beams, and they will be putting a side around that as well, so that when they pour the concrete it will fill up those channels and then harden. They'll build a form around these column tops as well that they've tied the structure of the beams into, and then they'll pour those as well. Here again we see the angled beams that form the roof structure outside the main house that covers the veranda and will allow rain to shed off the roof in this area. Here's a good angle where you can see the lower beam with the beginning of the form next to it, and here resting on the side is another piece of that form that will go on the left hand side. This lower beam right here at the end of the veranda has not yet had its forms built and installed. And here you can see specifically how the two, the column and the tie beam tie together. Sorry, lower beam. The column and the lower beam tie together. And how this other space where the column and the lower beam, the house lower beam, ties into the column. Same column, just in a different area. On this beam you can see that most of the form has been developed. There's still a corner here that isn't done because I think they're still working to put these pieces together. And then in this other direction you can see that most of the form has been put together. It looks like there's another lower beam that connects the end of the veranda, the edge of the veranda, and the column right there. The column in the bedroom space. As night falls over Calayab, we'd like to thank you for watching our episodes. Please like, subscribe, and click the notification bell. And remember to share this video with somebody who you think might be interested. We appreciate your interest in our project, and remember, it's the journey, not the destination.